Okay, so bush removal from my wishbones. Now in this case they're fitted, because this particular wishbone is driver's side, the bush is pushed in that way, and as the rear one's also pushed in that way, so they both have got to come out in this direction. Now in order to do that, I thought I'd just stand it on end, put my press on the top here. However, on doing that with my press, potentially all it wanted to do was bend this section down as opposed to push that out, because as the bush sits flush on this lip, so there's no way of putting anything on this side of it to stop that moving whilst pushing the bush through. So I've had to resort to the old-fashioned way of burning out the rubber that would be in there, poking out the metal sleeve with the rubber attached, and then cutting through the outer sleeve and then prying it out. That one I've already done. This one I've burnt the rubber out, so the centre of the bush is gone. You can still see, obviously this is the passenger side, so they're fitted in the opposite direction. Obviously direction of travel, which is why it's fitted in the front in that direction, and it has to come out in this direction. Same for the rear one. So after burning the rubber out, which I've done, take a hacksaw, put through the middle, hacksaw the inner sleeve, so a hacksaw in this inner sleeve, then take a hammer, bend up the metal, prise it apart. This one, because it didn't really need changing, but I'm doing them all anyway, has been quite a bugger to get out, in the sense of I've had to cut loads. It's taken quite a bit of bending and hammering up. The previous two I cut through, they folded up easy because they were pretty rotten, and they popped right out. I have cut through as much of this as I can visually see. Obviously you don't want to be cutting into this bit of it. So I then use this to pry in there, and then with a hammer give it a good whack, and as you can actually see here, the bush has now started to come out. Obviously a cut all the way through. You can see this bottom image there. That's only the collar of the sleeve. It's not this, the housing if you like. So if I got my screwdriver in there, hopefully it'll stay in place, which it didn't. Okay, so actually probably what would be easier is, I did it yesterday, I placed the socket, now I've cut it and loosened it, place the socket. I've no idea if you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Obviously I'm then going to use the socket, hopefully not break my phone. Potentially, as you can see, it is coming out. It's a bit hard on your own to make a video. I suppose I should get myself a little tripod. Almost there, and this one you'll get to see. There we go, it's out. That's just the sleeve of the bush. It would have had a rubber with the metal pole tube in the middle that your bolt goes through. So I obviously burnt that out. Then I've hacksawed the way through. Once you've hacksawed the way through, it will release the pressure and pop right out. Yeah, you can feel the saw cut. Obviously if you can cut all the way through that without cutting into this piece, great. I just used a hand hacksaw, relatively easy. Right, that's another one done. So now I've got to spin it round, start on this one. Shouldn't take you more than about, well, 5 minutes to cut it. Maybe 5 minutes to bash it out, if you've got no one distracting you. And that's bush removal of the wishbone on a r33 GTST 94 model.